For the 2016 museum edition, the solvable challenges are developing digital strategies for digitization of materials using the right software, materials, and networks. And the other one is improving digital literacy of museum professionals competent to use the technology. The difficult technologies are improving accessibility for the disabled populations, such as for the physically and mentally disabled, the blind, and the deaf. The other is the measuring the impact of new technologies, the effects of social media, mobile apps, that kind of thing. The wicked challenges are managing knowledge obsolescence, which is data stored on obsolete technology, which isn't really a new problem. And the other are privacy concerns, such as data security for staff and visitors and clarification of privacy policies.
Well, I looked at the K through 12 tech adoption trends, and the long-term trend for 5 or more years basically is mimicking the real-world entrepreneurship, project-based learning, and STEAM more now than STEM. And for deeper thinking, it is basically doing critical thinking, problem-based, challenge-based, and inquiry-based learning. The midterm trend for data basically is finding things that are data-informed choices. So, they put some examples such as digital tools of PeerDuck, Edpuzzle, and Think Through Math. So for student-centered learning spaces, we're looking at more mobile, flexible, and connected to change the learning spaces because we are in a different environment, different world, so the learning spaces have to change. And the short term we're looking at is 1 to 2 years. It's coding. So coding curriculum and integrating it into other subjects, and how work in the work field. And STEAM, placing school subjects in real world context, so targeting research, planning, and collaboration with industry is what's happening in the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah. For mine, I did the 2015 Museum Horizon Report, and the solvable challenges, which were a lot of short-term, the 1 to 2 years, was developing digital strategies and improving digital literacy, making a more engaging experience at the museum. And I thought that was really cool because the patrons come in with ideas and come in with things, and there'll be different tasks they can do, kind of make it a game, and then they have the experience at the museum and then leaving with that as well. So expanding the museum experience. I thought that was really cool and could be applicable to the education class as well. Difficult challenges, balancing the connected and unconnected lives and measuring the impact of these new technologies coming out, and museums using a lot of the social media and platforms for museum experience, and also tracking the engagement of the patrons' experience at the museum. Then the wicked challenges, I think this could be tied to education really, really well. Privacy concerns and progress in, I guess, the workflow and infrastructure. So really investing in good leadership. We're seeing that in my own district now with principal shifts, and we have like assistant superintendents leaving and resigning, or not resigning, but retiring. And so leadership's going to be strong to keep the workflow and infrastructure strong as well. So I thought that tied really nicely with the museum tying to education. So
cool. All right, I have the 2016 K through 12 Horizon Report. So it's is very similar to Fabiola's. I think yours was probably 2017 maybe. So at the short-term trends, I kind of went the other way. I did short-term trends first. So coding is literacy. Coding builds computational thinking and seeing things in smaller parts, and that's really important to break down these problems and put them together again and solve them. We're seeing the short-term trends are also seeing students as creators, so creativity is at a premium. Students are supposed to create the box and think outside of it, and then create another box. Midterm trends, collaborative learning. So that will stem from more creativity because people will have to get, a lot more creative as they're trying to work and bouncing off people, and that will require more pro-social behavior too. The analyzing and synthesizing and deeper learning approaches, you have to have all of that and then apply knowledge. It's not just about gaining knowledge, it's about applying it also. Long-term trends, redesigning learning spaces. That's you need more space to collaborate and to create. And we're seeing a lot of flexible seating in the elementary schools. We're seeing a lot more maker space areas, bins and things that you can store materials and all of that. So I've even seen a classroom with just a straight up couch in the middle, like set up like a living room, just making it more comfortable for students. Also, and the last thing, rethinking how schools work. I've talked a lot about this. What can we do to kind of automate some of the knowledge-based acquisition so we can really work when we're at school on collaboration and human interactions?
Excellent. Agreed.